hope you guys can pick it up. We've done this enough, but the difference in I'm sorry I hurt you and
Right.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yes.
They are two totally different
Yes.
statements. I have a really good friend of mine who has a rocky relationship with their parent, and their parent is always saying, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. That doesn't fix anything. That's not an apology. That is put back and saying that I'm not sorry that you
Yes.
misunderstood me. I am not sorry for what I said. I'm only sorry because of your feelings about it. That doesn't work, and that's not an appropriate way to apologize by saying, I'm sorry you feel that way. It's, I'm sorry I hurt you.
Yeah, it's not an apology at all. I'm
Yeah.
sorry that you never ends well.
No.
You
No,
cannot
no, no.
say, I'm sorry that I said things that hurt you, then you take the onus of it. So put the emphasis on the I, on yourself, because when you're apologizing, it's a very personal you to them kind of relationship. But I'm sorry that you is like, nope, I'm guiltless. I'm out of here. I'm sorry that you. I watched The Big Bang Theory, and the narcissistic character is Sheldon Cooper. And whenever he was forced to apologize, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way because I was right.
As long as we're apologizing, Sheldon, I'm sorry I used your toothbrush.
And I'm sorry. But that behavior is beyond the pale and cannot be tolerated. We are no longer friends.
It's such a good example. You got me on the show and I've been watching it, and Sheldon just makes me laugh so much. And then I'm like, how are these people still friends with this person? Like, he is so tough, but at the same time, he inspires me so much to go, oh. And apologizing was one of those when I was watching the episode last night. Yeah, and he had to apologize to Penny for something. And it was, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. No, not quite right there, Sheldon.
Yes, but that goes back to our narcissism episode that we did, and it's gaslighting when you do that. When you like, I'm sorry that you, rather than I'm sorry that I. And there's a humbleness that comes from the I'm sorry that I. There's kind of a haughtiness when it's I'm sorry that you. So yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Let's get back to your dad for a second, because you didn't give the pretext of what led to those hard conversations and being vulnerable. 6 months in a row, these two MFers would not talk to each other. And I'm sitting here talking this little lady down. Oh, I don't understand. Why doesn't he just apologize to me and this would all be over? And I kept thinking in the back of my mind, is there anything you need to apologize about? I didn't have the guts to tell you at the time, but I always thought that. What's that?
I wouldn't have taken that well.
Oh, I know, but I also know the full context. And so in my mind, with my one-sided view of my best friend telling me what's going on, I was totally on your side and he's in the wrong. But I almost was like, you know what? Apologize anyway. There's another episode of Big Bang Theory where Penny upsets Sheldon about something, and then Leonard goes over there. So Sheldon feels really bad about what happened. So if you would just go apologize to him, this will all be over. And she's like, the fuck I will. No, I'm not apologizing to him. I did nothing wrong. And that was you two, you and your dad, for this 6-month kind of detente. You didn't talk to each other. You didn't text. You didn't call. And it took another family member event to get you guys together to and then kind of get it to come out.
Yeah, it's a painful experience, but it came down to a text message over a Facebook post. Guys, this stuff is childish, okay? And I would laugh all day that I participated in this because I feel like I'm so much further along in my personal development, but even Brittany has issues with apologizing, and even I face these things too. I'm still learning these things.
We all do. I mean, this is why we do this show. It's not to say, oh, well, look how good we are at apologizing. No, we still have trouble with this. We still have moments where this will hit you. And it's why we bring these topics up so much, not just to teach you guys some of the things we've learned, but to kind of say, hey, this is stuff you will actively work on. You're not going to get perfect at it unless you're a machine. If you're a robot and go through life kind of doing things methodically, we're going to have emotions. We're going to feel hurt. we're going to have this, we're going to have that. And it's like, what do you do with it when that hits?
And I want to say that perhaps it's because we're both in a receptive place, but my relationship with my dad has like gone light years past where I ever thought it could.
Yeah.
After this 6 months, whatever it was, I think we both felt so shitty for so long that we wanted to fix it, but we're waiting for the other person and waiting. I'm not doing it. She's going to do it. I'm not doing it. He's going to do it. Like, we did this childish shit for so long. And then when we finally sat down and had the tough conversations and the I apologize, I hurt you with my post. And he said, I apologize, I hurt you with my text. Something about that, when we both are vulnerable with each other, we've just been able to move forward so quickly. And anytime anything else tiny comes up, I'm able to say, hey, I don't like that, or that makes me uncomfortable. That's another thing with apologizing. Maybe if we communicated more properly and learned how to communicate, we wouldn't ever get to that place where we need to apologize. Like you and me, we don't fight all the time. Like, I can count on one hand the number of times you and I have gotten in over something, and it was always something that was heard and then misheard. Or written. Something was read and mistake. It was always some misunderstanding, miscommunication. It was always something there.
Which is why when that specific incident a few months ago happened, I was taken aback because it happened very publicly in the comment section, rather than my best friend calling me and saying, hey, what's this about? This is how I read it, and it hurts. And did you mean it that way? I don't think you meant it that way. I would have been extremely receptive had it happened that way. But no, it was very public, and lots of people saw it and was like, are you and Brittany okay? I'm like, I don't know.
I can agree that there have been breakdown points. I don't do things perfectly. I am not perfect here. Amy, my dad's wife, had told me this week, messaged me. She's like, you really, really need to be a therapist. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. Like, being a licensed therapist, I feel like I have to have all the answers, and I do not have all the answers.
Hey, look, yes, you're right. And you would have to get a degree to actually do therapy. I've been joking with some of my followers because, in my morning walks, I do a lot of like inspiration and motivation and that thing. But you would be good at this too. I've thought about doing kind of the life coach thing. And maybe we do one step deeper life coaching or something. That would be kind of fun if you're interested. Not like you need more things to suck time out of your day, but it's something I've thought about, that if people wanted an extension of what we do here on this podcast, that might be an interesting thing. Let us know, guys. Would you like that? Is that something that if we made it available, would you want that? I've got time that I could allot for that, and I'm sure you could block off time for that. So anyway, just let us know. But yeah, this apologizing thing, it gets sticky when you allow your emotions to overcome you. And that's where I think it gets hard, is people get consumed by the emotion of the moment. If you eject yourself from that moment, that hot spot moment where you get upset, where you feel like you've been violated, all the things that you would need an apology for, and you remove yourself and you look at that relationship with that person separate from that incident, will you feel the same way? And I would argue no. Like, whenever I have feelings that maybe you hurt me or whatever, it's rare. Again, very rare. But I always kind of try to back up and go, well, wait a minute. You've been the one by my side through the hardest times in my life. I've been by your side. Like, this ain't us. So if you remove yourself from the immediacy of what's making you upset and look at the big picture, it helps you get to that apology quicker.
Keto can be hard. Tabulating, measuring, baking, taking 3 months to perfect one recipe, and to mixed reviews.
Did something die in here? Oh, I think it moved.
And by that point, you give up your diet, find a dark corner, and stuff yourself with sugar, carbs, and regret.
This, isn't what it looks like.
Well, this is where Ketochow saves the day. The easiest, tastiest, ketoist meal replacement on the market.
It's like ice cream melted in my mouth.
Yes, but melted ice cream with all the protein, nutrients, vitamins, and electrolytes your body needs.
Oh, that's cool.
And with 3 starter kits, each with restaurant tips, keto food guides, and a ton of flavors to try, your taste buds and your waistline will thank you.
Thank you.
So grab your starter kit today at JimmyLovesKetochow.com. Ketochow.com.
It's so easy.
Ketochow. Make keto easy.
Yeah. And you brought up emotions. And so you can't take emotions out of the feel to need to apologize or the need to have an apology given to you. You can't really take emotions out of that, but you can remove yourself until you can be in a calm state to either receive an apology or give an apology. Because what happens a lot of times, hey, you guys should know by now, anger is not an emotion, it is a reaction. And when you're talking about these really big feelings of hurt and pain, specifically with hurt and pain, most human beings go into anger first because hurt and pain require vulnerability. And saying that out loud, that you hurt me, requires vulnerability, and anger covers that up. So anger becomes the big bear in front of our emotions, the mama bear in front of the baby bear kind of deal. That's what that is. And with anger comes unstable discernment. And so if you're coming to somebody to apologize to them when they are angry, they're not going to be receptive because they've got mama bear in front of their emotions, and you're going to have to somehow get through their anger, and it's not going to help. And vice versa. If I'm angry and someone's trying to apologize to me, it doesn't matter how sincere they are, it's a no. It's a no, because I'm still upset and in my emotions. And it's what you and I have experienced this when I have been hurt. You want to apologize right away to fix it, make it better.
Yeah.
But I'll say, I'm not ready because I have to calm all of my anger. I have to put the mama bear away and be ready and willing to be vulnerable that I was hurt.
That eats away at somebody like me. I don't know if it's my Enneagram or just personality type, but when I have to wait, when I really am sorry and really do want to show contrition and apologize, I want to do it right away to soothe that. But you have, again, taught me lots of things, that sometimes you need that cooling off period. And when we didn't talk for that 24 hours and then suddenly you call me the next day after the thing that happened 3 or 4 months ago, that was the most miserable 24 hours of my life. Like I hurt my best friend. I don't really know exactly what I did to hurt her. I just hurt. And the fact that you were so quiet just kind of indicated that. And then, we got it all done once the anger came off. By the way, we did a whole episode on anger is not an emotion. So I'm going to put it down there for you guys to go check out if you missed that episode. We hit on topics and then we hit them again and again and hit that thing one more time over and over, because they're recurring themes in all of these things we talk about. And so, yeah, that's definitely one.
Personal development overlaps, and it doesn't, it's just how it works. We've talked about keeping your health up, and we've talked about emotions, and we've talked about apologizing and gaslighting and narcissism, and they really all just kind of intertwine with each other, because when you're talking about personally developing and you're talking about working on yourself, there are reoccurring themes that happen. When someone has childhood trauma, it's not far-fetched to think they're going to have some mental health diagnosis or they're going to struggle with mental health. It's not far-fetched. And so when we're talking about, I wanted to specifically had a apologizing 101 to lay this out, because it's in order to have a good relationship with anybody, you have to have the skill of apologizing the correct way. This is a life skill that you can use over and over and over again in all of your relationships, coworkers, spouses, friends, family. It's so important that people learn to apologize. And I think back on a lot of my family breakdowns that, we didn't speak for a long time, or we're still not speaking, or whatever. It really all boils down to an appropriate apology would move the needle just one notch where we could have a relationship.
Yes. So since we're calling this Apologizing 101, let's put on our teacher glasses. Okay, class, we're getting ready to provide some practical tips on how to apologize. And I think a great place to start, you like my little teacher? Yeah. She's like, no, I'm just used to you being silly. So practical way to start is what not to do. And we've already talked about it. I'm sorry that you is a big what not to do. Tone is everything. Well, I'm sorry. Well, people are going to feel that, like viscerally feel that through their body. No, everything. That's a huge what not to do.